Pain wrapped around me like a dark shadow the moment I regained consciousness. Every attempt to move was sheer agony, the discomfort clawing at my skin. Yet, what tormented me even more was the gnawing anxiety. The emptiness beside me felt hauntingly familiar. "Where are you, Maxim?" Why was there no gentle reassurance? No, "Hi, everything will be okay." I thought back to our vacation, those sun-drenched beach days when laughter rolled off my lips like waves crashing on the shore. We shared tender conversations infused with dreams of a bright future. I remembered how I would giggle at his playful jokes, feeling as though everything was perfect, as if the world belonged to just us. But now, those warm memories were fading, losing their vibrancy. My heart sensed that something was amiss, like dark spots marring my once perfect dreams. I tried calling him repeatedly, but all I got in return was silence. Oh, how it dragged on, like a hurricane unraveling the cozy fabric of my life. "You said you'd always be there for me," I whispered, clutching my phone. Anxiety swelled within me, echoing in my thoughts. The memory of our last words cut like a blade, leaving me feeling betrayed, as if someone had wrenched away my most cherished possession and tossed it to the ground. To my surprise, the phone rang unexpectedly. It was Daisy, my best friend. Her voice, usually so cheerful, now sounded strained. "Alina, I'm here, don't worry, I'll be there soon." But I could hear the anxiety laced in her words. I knew that all those cheerful platitudes were merely a facade to mask the fear threatening to consume us both. "Thank you, Daisy," I replied, but the emptiness inside me persisted. Even her presence couldn't fill the void that Maxime had left behind. I could hardly hold back my tears. Part of me longed to embrace her, while another part clawed at memories of how he had dimmed the lights in my world. "When are you coming?" I asked, barely managing to keep the tremor from my voice. "I'm on my way. Don't leave me alone, Alina," she said, her voice dropping to a whisper, as if she sensed my turmoil. No matter how hard I tried to appear strong, the weight of betrayal and fear lingered closely. My heart pounded painfully, and visions of our happiness blurred in my eyes, colors slipping off the canvas of my memory. I glanced out the window, where darkness deepened with each passing moment, and suddenly realized that sometimes silence is louder than words when the one who should be here simply vanishes. The door opened softly, and Daisy entered the room, concern etched across her features, her hair cascading like emotions tangled in knots. I attempted to smile, but my face wore the familiar mask of worry. Daisy noticed my unease and immediately pulled me into a comforting embrace, yet it couldn't replace the warmth Maxime had left behind. "How are you?" she asked, settling on the edge of my bed. I could hear the sincerity in her voice, but I lacked the energy to feign normalcy. It felt like ages since I had experienced a moment of genuine happiness, where I could simply laugh and breathe without feeling weighed down. "I don't know," I admitted, my heart aching. "Everything is changing, and each day without him feels like stepping into the unknown. Maxim was always there for me, and now, it's just emptiness. Everything we built is sinking, and I can't save it." Daisy let out a fleeting sigh, her expression shifting as if she was contemplating her next words. "Look," she began, "after we're discharged, let's get some fresh air. New experiences. Life doesn't end here." I sighed deeply, feeling as if I were being tossed into the abyss. "Life doesn't end," I echoed. But it sounded hollow to my weary soul. The thought of new acquaintances felt almost sacrilegious. Why do I need someone else when I want Maxime by my side? "Daisy," I said slowly, "I truly lack the strength. All I can think about is him. Even when the sun rises, my mood doesn't lift. His laughter and support feel like shards of a shattered mirror. I'm losing him, and it terrifies me." She hesitated, her face softening slightly as she searched for the right words. I knew Daisy wanted to help, but her well-meaning ideas only deepened my sense of isolation. "But you have to think about yourself," she finally said, wiping a tear from her cheek. "This whole situation is terribly unfair. You've been through so much, but you can't succumb to despair." Every word struck like a blow. I sought solace, but found only frustration. "You know," she continued, "I've never seen you like this, so sure of your fears. And all this, She paused, searching for words that wouldn't hurt. "It's not you." "What do you mean?" I asked, turning to face her, trying to decipher her intent. She shook her head, hugging me tighter. "Someday you'll remember how strong you are, Alina. This guy shouldn't dim your light or steal your confidence." I looked into her eyes and realized she might be right. But in that moment, her comforting words felt like a whisper against the raging storm of anxiety. I just wanted him to be there, to see that smile at my doorstep again. Instead, I could only cling to a distant dream. After a month of silence, he stormed back into my life like a hurricane, filling the room with his presence but leaving an even larger void in my heart. Maxim stood before me, radiating confidence that felt disingenuous, like a mannequin on display. His words echoed hollowly, reminiscent of an abandoned house. He began making excuses, gesturing as if that would lend weight to his flimsy justifications. "I'm sorry, I've been swamped at work. My mom wasn't feeling well, so I had to visit her," he explained with a tone that felt indifferent. I glimpsed something in his eyes that I couldn't decipher. Sincerity? Hardly. I could craft better lies than that. Unease crept in. Each word sent ripples of doubt through me. I questioned if it was worth believing the facade he was presenting. My heart tightened and my mind rang with the thought, he's lying. Waves of loneliness and betrayal crashed over me, renewing their grip. When he finished speaking, I couldn't hold back any longer. "I'm calling your mom," I declared, feeling as if I had severed the invisible thread connecting us. The words tumbled from my lips and his face drained of color. I scrambled for my phone, dialing frantically. The conversation with his mother felt fatal. Her voice was soft, slightly melancholic yet insistent. Every word mocked my feelings. "Alina, my son hasn't come to see me," she said sorrowfully, and my heart shattered. "He's busy. I don't know what's going on, but it's been a long time." It struck me like a knife. I froze, unable to comprehend what I was hearing. He was lying. I recalled all the conversations they'd had, scattered like grains of sand slipping through my fingers. How could he manipulate my emotions so easily? What was wrong with him? Coming back to reality, I noticed the anger burning in Daisy's eyes. She was ready to intervene, to pull me from this quagmire of deceit. But all I felt was emptiness. "How could you?" I mumbled, losing control of the situation. The man I loved had become a tapestry of lies, and I was the naive fly caught in his web of secrets. My emotions surged like a fierce storm. Fear, anger, betrayal, leaving no space for hope. I wanted to scream, but instead I just stared out the window, watching the world spin calmly, as if nothing had happened. Each new thought of Maxime deepened the chasm created by his deceit. Anger and resentment threatened to overflow. I felt deceived, not just by him, but by myself. How had I failed to see how he was quietly dismantling everything around him? The fear of my future loomed behind me, whispering that I might be forever lost in the shadows of my memories of who he used to be. Daisy, my personal advocate in this emotional trial, tried to save me. She approached cautiously, as if assessing the situation, and suggested that I leave the past behind. Move forward as if it were a simple leap into a new day. I could sense her good intentions, but I didn't know how to escape this darkness. A glance in the mirror suddenly struck me. My style, my makeup, they had all changed. I had grown more independent, but inside, I felt like the same scared girl. Maxime wouldn't let me be. His calls and messages only fanned the flames of resentment. Each mention of his name made my stomach churn. How could he persist in trying to win me back when I already knew the truth? It only made me laugh. I needed to turn to my friends instead of continuing this chess game with a ghost. How foolish I had been. I shut my eyes tight, imagining tearing away all remnants of him. No, I would never again allow myself to be trapped in the dead end of his beggarly deceptions. In that moment, I resolved, I can do this, I will break free.